get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to fucking drop it with you now. With you now. Tear the roof off every building. I know I'll be spending millions with you. Just tell me what you wanna do. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to spend it all. I don't wanna waste a minute. Don't have many plans, swing it. If you gotta go, I spill it. Cause I need it now. Money is a bitch in it. I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it. Cause I need it now. Take me to a place where the music's loud. I don't wanna think right now. Flashing lights running through the crowd. I don't ever wanna stop. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to fucking drop it with you now. With you now. Tear the roof off every building. I know I'll be spending
everybody! Stuffing my face with food again. Sorry. Welcome to the Almost Awesome Show. Shit, I almost threw up. Episode 26. How are you all doing this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday? First Tuesday show. Tuesday afternoon. Hope everybody's doing good. Sorry I'm like smacking away in the camera or in the microphone. But we got a pretty cool show set up for you guys today. I'm excited. Nick's excited. By the way, Nick's here with me. What's up, Nick? Oh, shit. You're not supposed to see that.
His blade. He's here.
But hey, Nick, what's going on? How you doing today, Nick?
I'm good. I'm gonna probably rant today. It's gonna be fun.
Gonna rant today.
I know. Yeah,
well,
I'm rant ready.
We had actually some news break late in the day. Actually, early in the day. I was just not on it, so I was spending the last few minutes. That's why there was a little bit of a pause before we went live. Spending the last few minutes inserting two other removing two stories and inserting two more. So that's why we were running just a couple of seconds late there, and we had that little pause there. But we're here. We're here to talk about some stuff. I'm not even going to say it. I didn't see this show being a long show, but I'm not going to say it. Every time I say that shit, it doesn't happen. But anyway, all right. Well, I guess let's go ahead and just jump right into this thing instead of like making you fine viewers wait any longer. We'll jump into the smaller stories of this week. And as usual, first we're going to go into news bits, those small stories of the week that they're not quite big enough for their own story, but we don't want to forget about them. There's some little things we want to talk about, just throw out there into the world. And the first one, holy crap, what is this I have up on my screen? There we go. Sorry. All right, and our first news bit of the day is the Steam Deck. Well, that didn't work, did it?
Steam Deck.
Oh my God! I'm hitting all the wrong buttons.
The first Tuesday shows.
We've lost control.
Yeah, first Tuesday show is great.
Lost control. All right. Okay, we should be good now. Our first story of the day is the Steam Deck is now available without a pre-order for the first time since it became available. I guess over a year ago, no, it hadn't been a year. When did I get mine? I got mine, I think, in February, and they went live in like December, so almost a year. Took them almost a year, but you can actually get the Steam Deck now, and not only the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck dock is now available as well. And I not pre-ordered. I bought that this morning. So nice. They said it'd take 1 to 2 weeks to get here, but I do have the Steam Deck dock coming my way. Nick, you don't have a Steam Deck. What do you think about the Steam Deck? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think this is cool that you can buy one just off the shelf now, if you will?
Yeah. I really want this, actually. No lie. It's one of those things where I can't afford it right now, which is, it's because it's expensive. But I have a question for you. I'm looking on the website. And the lower end version is $399, which is actually not that bad for a handheld. Yeah. It's saying how you can play like computer games with it.
Sure.
What does eMMC mean? Like, I know what NVMe is, but what's eMMC?
It's just a slower hard drive. Now, the cool thing about this, it is the different, like mine. This is and they all look like this. This is the 5. Yeah. It's the top tier, the 512 gigabyte. The only difference in this one is the hard drive. This is an NVMe 512, so it's a bit faster. And the screen, the 512 has a etched screen or something. I don't know if the screen is that big of a difference on them. Like, it's like I think that they get the same resolution, just something about like the anti-glare on the more expensive one. But if that doesn't matter to you, I would suggest just getting the cheaper one and buy it because they are very friendly. They even show you online, like they say, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, so you can buy it. You can buy like your own NVMe.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, I'm happy with mine. I'm very happy with it. But given, like, if I had all three in front of me right now, I'd want to see the screen. But I mean, from what I've heard about the screens, there's not like that big of a difference. I would gladly pay the $399 for the cheaper one, and just buy an NVMe, like a 1 or 2 terabyte NVMe, and put it in there. Because I mean, ain't nobody buying a 512 gigabyte NVMe. So I'd rather, you're going to spend a little bit more money, probably buying the $399, and then, or maybe about the same, depending on where you get it. But you might spend the same or a little bit more, but you're going to get more storage out of it. So yeah, I would suggest doing that. Nothing again. If you get the 512, right on. I mean, I've been happy with it, and you can put like mine. Excuse me, in the bottom here. There, right there, you could put micro SD cards. I have a 1 terabyte micro SD card in mine, and
cool.
I honestly can't tell a difference in the speed of like how fast the games load. It loads off of that SD card like seems like just as fast. So anybody out there who's looking to get one,
I heard it's really comfortable to hold.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I have no complaints with the Steam. I've probably gamed more on the Steam Deck than I have anything else, because it'll emulate. It's an emulation beast too, and all the emulation's built into it. You can like emulate pretty much anything on it, and also of course a shit ton of PC games work on it. It's kind of weird, like you go on there and it'll tell you, oh, this game. It has some that say they work perfectly on it. They have like these little symbols, but some of them say, oh, this will work with it, but there might be some issues. And like, I haven't had any major issues out of any of the games that work with it. There are a handful of games that just won't work with it, but they update that all the time. There's a shit ton. You run across more games that will work with it than not. And I already have a dock that I bought as a third party. It's really, you look at it, it's just like, it's like a dock like this that somebody made a stand and just glued it on there pretty much. I mean, it works and it looks fine. Like the Steam Deck, just like
you buy it from AliExpress.
It just sits on there. I bought it on Amazon, but like it works. And this is more or less what the Steam Deck dock is. This one has, I think, it doesn't have the display port. This one's got like HDMI, 3 USB 3.0s or 3. Yeah, I think these are 3.0. I think the Steam Deck one comes with 3.1 and a gigabyte Ethernet, but the Steam Deck one might have like one more port on it. I can't remember, but I went ahead and bought it. But yeah, these like ones like this, I mean, while they are aftermarket, they work. I've had no problem with it. I've played quite a few games off my Steam Deck with it. But if you are in the market for a Steam Deck or the Steam Deck dock, if you have a Steam Deck, then they are available now. No pre-order anymore. They're in stock. At least for now. Maybe they'll go out of stock for Christmas. I don't know. So Microsoft and especially PlayStation, take note of whatever Steam's doing. Get your shit together. They can get their new device made and out there to the public. Why can't you? Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Our second news bit of the day, and that is Dario Argento. Familiar with the name, Nick?
I am.
A legendary horror gallo director. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nothing against him. I'm not like a hardcore Argento fan. I appreciate his films, the ones I've seen, but he is still making movies at 82 years old.
Yep.
And he has a new movie, Dark Glasses, that is coming soon, and he is also going into production of his next film with Isabelle Hubert. I'm not familiar with her.
Yeah, Isabelle Hubert. It's famous French. I think she's French.
Yes, I do know that. I'm pretty sure it's French. She is foreign. I know that from here in the U.S., but she's famous wherever she's from. But they have a new movie coming out. We don't really have any details on it, but yeah, Argento is still. I honestly did not know that the guy was still making movies. He apparently did go on hiatus around 2010, and he just recently made this Dark Glasses movie. I honestly thought the guy had stopped making movies long before that.
I bet he was dead. I'm going to be fairly honest. I bet he had died.
Me too. I hadn't really given it much thought, but when I saw that he was still making movies, I was kind of like, he's still alive? So, good on him. I mean, George Miller's still making movies, and he's in his 80s, so it's not totally unprecedented, but I really thought... I mean, when you think of Dario Argento, you really think of much older films. You don't think of, like, nowadays. So, I'm with you. I thought he was no longer with us. But, hey, if you're a fan... He's got a new film coming soon, Dark Glasses, and then another one going into production. So he is still out there humping it and making it. And I don't know about Dark Glasses, but this film that he is working on apparently is going to harken back to his... Because I guess his newer newer being 2010 era films weren't as well received, but this one is supposed to harken back to his old style. So Gallo horror. So there you go. For those fans of Argento. Now this is one that I'm excited about. Nick, you probably won't care as much because you've already seen this movie, Barbarian. It is about to come to VOD and physical release very quick. The movie just came out last month. I unfortunately was unable to see it. You did. I've been looking forward to seeing this movie since I saw Nope. That's where I saw the trailer for it. And I remember I was more excited about that trailer than the movie Nope. And it is going to be available on HBO Max and physical release Blu-ray and 4K on October 25th. For those, that's right around the corner. That's what, 10, 15, no, not even quite 15 days from now. So,
yep, that is a special day for me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that is my 40th birthday.
Oh, really? I knew it was around there. I didn't realize it was a 20. Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, no, it's a good day. Barbarian and the Guillermo del Toro show come out those days, so I'm excited.
Oh, the Cabinet of Curiosities?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, everybody, don't forget to wish Nick a happy birthday on October 25th. His 32nd birthday is going to be then. And also, get him Barbarian VOD codes, because
there you go.
I like that movie. But you did like that movie, right? No.
Yeah, yeah. No, I liked it. Yeah.
Okay. I remember you said that you thought I would like it, or maybe I wouldn't, because you made some not Maleficent.
It has some moments where I think you might not like it just because it feels like it feels like this year's Maleficent in a lot of ways.
Not Maleficent. Not Maleficent.
Malignant.
Malignant. Yeah.
We can go Maleficent too. Yeah. But no, Malignant.
Yeah, I didn't care for Malignant, but
yeah.
Well, I hope not, because I like everybody involved in the movie, and the trailer just looks so cool. But we'll see. I'm going to see it. If I don't, I doubt I'll see it before the 25th. But especially since it's coming so soon, and the ordeal it has for me that it takes for me to go see movies, so I'm probably going to wait until it comes out. But I will definitely see it on the 25th, and maybe we'll talk about it here. But if you've been looking forward to seeing Barbarian, check it out on the 25th on HBO Max and physical release. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, a movie that we reported on not too long ago, that it was being made. It has started filming, and they have started filming in Australia at Disney's new Disney Australia studio thing or whatever. So, yeah, the movie's real, and it is happening. And much like you said in that, because I think one of the things I was wondering is this a sequel, or is it a continuation, or is it a new thing? It is a sequel. It takes place years after the final film, 2017's War of the Planet of the Apes, but it is a direct sequel to those films. So,
yeah,
I mean, I think you did like those movies. What are you?
Oh yeah,
you excited about this anymore?
I'm not excited by the director, but it could be good. I mean, Owen Teague plays the main ape in the movie, which he was in it and a couple other things, but I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I think we all both agreed it didn't really need to happen. I don't think this is a movie that needs to happen, but yeah, it is. So,
no. Well, I mean, as far as the director goes, I'm a little bit. My stance on his films, well, the three that I've seen at least, I didn't mind them. I thought they were enjoyable enough. They're not great, but it's not going to be coming. I think I wouldn't be surprised if the movie is a little bit of a letdown because we're coming off of Matt Reeves' version of it. He made the other, well, at least two of the other. No, he made all three, didn't he?
No, he made the last two.
Okay.
The other two, yeah.
Well, he made the last two, more recent ones, and then we're going to this guy, Wes Ball. Nothing against Wes Ball, but, you got Matt Reeves, and you got the guy that made the Maze Runner movies.
Exactly.
And Disney's involved now, so.
Yeah.
Say what you will about 20th Century Fox, they seem like they, maybe not all the time, they would sometimes at least hands in the air, just let the people do what they're going to do. So Disney doesn't seem like they do that as much. But if you're excited about War, what are they calling this thing? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Hey, it started filming, so we're probably going to see it sooner than later. I would imagine probably early 2024, if you ask me. Maybe late 2023. Who knows? But it's a thing. It's being made, so it's coming. Werewolf by Night. A movie that we talked about extensively last Saturday. And I think both of us liked it. Maybe didn't think as highly of it as the rest of the film critic-ish world, but I think both of us enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
I think from my stance was I'm more afraid of what they're going to do with this thing in the future, what it's going to lead to. That's what what scares me more. We're going to get this oversaturation of it. But you know what? All that aside, we talked about that last Oral on Saturday. People have been asking, and this was something I hung around for, because I was like, well, it's a Marvel thing, so of course, post-credit scene. It did not have a post-credit scene. And people have been asking why, if it technically is part of the MCU, why did it not have a post-credit scene? And the directors come out and said, well, it kind of did and it kind of didn't. It did in the way that, if you've seen, I'm not going to ruin anything here, but the final scene of the movie shows two characters, let's say, at a campsite speaking, or by a campfire rather speaking. Yeah. And that is essentially the post-credit scene. It's not post-credits, it's pre-credits. It's part of the film or the special. And he said that is effectively what the post-credit scene would have been, because you don't need that scene for the film to wrap up and to complete. But he didn't want to put it at the end because he said, I wanted people to celebrate the moment as opposed to carrying on to the next thing. Post-credit scenes usually signify what's next, what's coming up, and all that, and he didn't really want to go there. Now, whether that's because he doesn't know if they're going to get anything else, or he doesn't want this thing to expand past, which I don't think it should, but I don't know. But in his eyes, he was looking at it as, I don't want you to be looking to what comes next. I want you to be looking at this right here. So instead of including this as a post-credit scene, we just included this part of the movie. So those of you that were wondering about a post-credit scene, there you go. It did have it, and it didn't at the same time. What do you think, Nick? Do you think that this movie needed a post-credit scene? Do you think it would have worked better with this little campfire scene at the post-credits, or just where it was?
No, it was fine where it was. I don't think every Marvel property needs a post-credit scene. Like, you look at Hawkeye, the post-credit scene at the end of Hawkeye was them just doing the Captain America musical thing, and I'm like, I don't care about this. Like, I mean, we're so tuned now to watch like end credit sequences that if we don't see one, it's like, oh, I guess I wasted my time for nothing.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
I think that they include them sometimes not because they want to or they have something to say, because they have to now. Because every movie, every Marvel movie, or every MCU movie, with the exception of Endgame, since Iron Man has had one. So I think sometimes some of these dumbass post-credit scenes we get are just because, we're Marvel, we have to put one. So it's like they're just putting dumbass shit at the end of some of them, and it's like, why is this even here? So, yeah. I'm cool with it. I was cool with them not having essentially a post-credit scene, especially with this thing. It didn't need it.
Nah,
it doesn't need to move
it's a 59. Yeah, it's like an hour-long special. It doesn't need. No. Like I think the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special will have like the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, and that's not really an end credit sequence. That's just a promotion for the next movie. So yeah, it doesn't need it. No.
Which is pretty. There was another Marvel movie that did that, wasn't there?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
it had Doctor Strange.
That's right.
I think whatever the movie before Avengers had, I think Captain America: First Avenger had the Avengers trailer before it.
Well, no, didn't it have the thing where he woke up in New York and he ran out to Times Square?
Yeah, but at the very end, like the end credits is him boxing or whatever, and it turns into the Avengers trailer. So
okay, but it did have that little boxing thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Which was that in the Avengers? I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, it was.
That's 2012. But anyway, no end credit scene for those of you that haven't watched it yet, and those of you that are wondering why. There you go. Let us know in the comments below if you think that was a good move. I do. I don't think that we need any more werewolf by nothing. Just leave this shit how it is. It's okay. Just move.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to do another special, cool. Do another special, but I don't need an end credit sequence telling me. Oh yeah,
they finna do more.
Werewolf by day.
Oh god. All right, so last little news bit story we have. Now this is I'm wondering if we can look at this objectively.
No, we never look at it objectively, especially if it has to do with Avatar.
No, it does not. There's no Avatar this week. No Avatar news. I thought about it. There's not. It is it needs it did make a little bit more money, but no Avatar news this week. This has to do with Deadpool, but not Deadpool specifically, more with one of its actors, and that would be T.J. Miller. Now, before we get into this, I'm going to say I know that T.J. Miller's been into some trouble, and I've heard of a couple of things he did. I just know that he was effectively canceled, and he did some stuff. There's some things he did, or he was accused. I'm sorry, he's been accused of doing some stuff, and that's kind of why we haven't heard anything from T.J. Miller since Deadpool 2, because it happened all
he
right
posted
before.
that thing on Twitter.
Yeah, right before Deadpool 2 released is when all that apparently came out, or was the allegations were made. So anyway, there's a recent interview with T.J. Miller talking about, just whatever, I don't know, but when Deadpool came up and returning to Deadpool 3, he said he would not come back to Deadpool 3 even if he were asked. Though I don't think he has anything to worry about there. He's not going to be asked. But he says that Ryan Reynolds was horrifically mean to him while making Deadpool 2 for no reason. And that's why he wouldn't return. And he doesn't know why he hates him so much. He talked about how, like, they would do a take and the take was perfectly fine. And then Ryan would say, hey, let's do one more take. And he would do it and, like, go way off script and start, like, really just being super mean to him in character. So it's like people are like, oh, okay, it's in character. But he was like, it seemed like he was taking some, like, hardcore, every last take, he was, like, taking these hardcore digs at T.J. Miller in particular. And he was like, I don't know why, but he was, like, really, really mean to me. He said on Deadpool 1, it wasn't like that. But then by the time we got to Deadpool 2, he was a much bigger star, and it just seemed like, I don't know. I guess he was implying that fandom had gone to his head. I don't know. Or not fandom, stardom had gone to his head. I don't know. I guess in looking at this, it's kind of like, because talking about T.J. Miller, once again, we don't know the things he's been accused of, if they are true or not, because nothing has been substantiated. But, there's some, my understanding is there's some pretty bad things levied against him. Do you think that any of what he's saying could be true, or do you think, do you think Ryan Reynolds was being a dick for no reason towards the guy, or what? Because it seemed like they got along. I mean, if you watch the movie, they have good chemistry, but
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, it is Hollywood. Hollywood is known for weirdness. I mean, could Ryan Reynolds be a dick? I mean, absolutely. He just, his persona as an actor never seems like to be a dick. But I've heard dickish things about The Rock, and The Rock's supposed to be like the nicest guy in the world. I've heard dickish things about Tom Hanks, and he's supposed to be the nicest guy in the world. I'm sure there's dickish things about Keanu Reeves, and he's supposed to be the greatest guy in the world. And am I saying T.J. Miller is wrong? No, not necessarily. But as Fright says in the chat, it's just him embodying the Deadpool character. It just, I think the problems that T.J. Miller is having is the fact that there's something wrong with T.J. Miller, to be fairly honest, just on a like a logical level or whatever when it comes to his and how he's thinking. But it's really difficult to say because you don't know unless you're there, to be fairly honest.
Oh yeah,
this is all hearsay. It's all hearsay at this point. So if T.J. Miller is saying that and it's true, man, Ryan Reynolds needs to back the fuck up, man. But like the whole Tiffany Haddish thing, we can say, yeah, he's an asshole, for saying this about Ryan Reynolds, but it's like you and I, we don't know. It's like, all we can hear is, yeah, Marlon Brando was a dick, so that's all we know, but we don't know the true facts about everything. But
well, no, and I do wonder, like you said, all those people, everybody has a bad day.
Yeah,
everybody has that day. It's just no matter how nice they are, everybody can be a dick one day, and then for all we know, maybe there was something that all of us. He disliked, something happened, and he disliked T.J. Miller at that point, and he was a dick to him. I'm sure The Rock, as nice as he sounds, and Keanu Reeves, there's somebody out there that he dislikes, and he's probably like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, we'll never know, but...
Yeah, I mean, like when T.J. Miller... I mean, the funny thing is T.J. Miller is like a really funny dude, and I don't know if you ever watched Silicon Valley, but when he left that show, when they forced him off that show actually became less funny because he was that good in the show, and it's such a shame because you want to believe T.J. Miller, but there have been so many things proven on Twitter and the things he said that I don't know if they're necessarily like going the route of Mel Gibson or anything, but he has said some crazy shit. And when he's saying this here, it could be true, it could not be. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, who knows? But at the end of the day, I don't think while he won't return to Deadpool or Deadpool 3, TJ, I don't think you have anything to worry about because they ain't going to be asking you back either way. It's Disney,
yeah, exactly.
after all, so if you're canceled or in the bad way at all, Disney is not. They're like, nope, we're on board with that. We totally. But now, I mean, he may. Once again, I'm not sitting here saying the guy didn't do the stuff. I have no fucking clue. I just know he disappeared after Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
and this is the first I've heard anything about him.
As Antonio says in the chat, because Antonio's here, he says, "No, sir, I don't like it." And he said it twice.
Yeah, nope, no, sir, I don't like it. Well, anyway, that is about it for news bits this week. I know they've been going a little bit longer the past few weeks, and I noticed that in editing. So I said, let's news bits is starting to just turn into fucking news. So let's scale them back a little bit. So yeah, that's all we got on the news bits this week. So you guys let us know in the comments below what you think about the Steam Deck and its availability now being open, and if you plan on getting one. I do. By the way, I cannot sing this thing's praises enough. This thing's fucking awesome. It's gotten me, not that I ever like left gaming. I mean, I do collect and everything, but I game more on this thing than anything. I love this thing. It's awesome, and you can just game wherever you want. Best console money I've spent in a long time. But anyway,
you can watch all the porn you want on it.
You can if you want. I mean, you can watch porn on it too. That's your thing. And they have porn games, but go for it. Dario Argento still making flicks. 82 Barbarian coming to HBO Max physical release just in a few days now. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has started filming. Werewolf by Night, no post-credit scene, and T.J. Miller unfortunately will not return for Deadpool 3 because Ryan Reynolds was mean to him. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of all of that. And with that, we move into our first story of the day. But before I do, let's look on up here because I've been neglecting the chat. And I at least want to give some shout outs and say, what's up, Fright Films? Thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. Antonio, of course, is always here. Antonio is one of my Patreon or patrons and also one of my, what do they call it? Membership holders. Membership holders?
Yes.
He's a member. You're a member, not a membership holder. I don't give you a card or anything. But he is also one of my members. So thanks, Antonio, for that. It looks like I'm going to butcher your name, my friend, but Hickber Dilick? Hickber Dilick?
Hickber Dilick. I think that's
I'm sure there's something there, and I'm not getting it.
Hickber
but,
Dilick.
Hey, I like the name, but thanks for coming and hanging out for a few minutes. Hello. Hey, how you doing? I think I'm going to sleep because in Spain it's already night, so gentlemen, goodbye. All right, well, thanks for coming and hanging out for a little bit, and greetings from America. And that's all we got in the chat right now, but if anyone else shows up, I'll try and stop back in a few stories there. I do plan on, by the way, everybody, trying to, because the whole thing is when I started the show was I wanted to do something dynamic and different, and I do know that each show has been pretty much the fucking same every week. Had a few little things we'll insert here or there. So I'm been thinking of ways to spice things up a little bit. I think we're going to have a little bit more live things happen here soon. I'm working on some ideas of some little segments we could try of some things we do that you guys are more involved in as well. Because I do want to get, what's the point of being live if you're not including the chat? At that point, I should just pre-record it. So,
right.
So I really, really, really do want to include you guys more in this show and get more interaction with you guys like I used to do with my streams. By the way, stream is coming probably tomorrow, and I have something pretty cool over there that I'm hoping to show you guys on the stream. But yeah, that's that right there. We do have more stuff coming here to the show. Maybe some stuff we'll watch. Maybe it won't all be video or movie related. Maybe just some things, some entertainment stuff to look at. But ideas, things coming soon, FYI. Okay, I just probably blew out everybody's eardrums there. Let's move into our first story.
Hey, I have some breaking news.
Oh, we have breaking news? What breaking news?
Angela Lansbury apparently died today.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Just happened? Or just reported?
Yeah, it was literally just announced.
Oh, shit. Well, damn, Nick.
We got replaced.
Way to bring the mood down. But, yeah, Angela Lansbury just passed away, everybody. It was a sad day. Man, I feel
I've lost you. Oh, sorry.
You what?
I lost when I was looking at my phone and I forgot that I had Bluetooth on, so I lose sound in my earphones.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, Angela Lansbury apparently just passed away. Does it say how old she was?
96.
Damn. Well, she lived a very full life. I'll tell you that much. So everybody just R.I.P. I see in the chat, Antonio's R.I.P. I'm wondering how many people know who Angela Lansbury is. If any of my younger viewers know. But
yeah.
well, that sucks, man. I feel like every day we're hearing about somebody else dying, especially here recently. All kinds of people just passing away, but I guess that's what happens. People get old, life, they die. That sucks, but alrighty. Well, let's move on to hopefully some happier news with our first story of the day, and we're going to talk about Kenneth Branagh and how he's getting spooky with I can never pronounce this fucking guy's name. And that's, oops.
What, Mark Zuckerberg?
Wrong picture. Actually, this was not fuck, that's not the first story. I just screwed that up. The Angela Lansbury thing just fucked me all up. Never mind. We'll talk about Kenneth Branagh in just a few minutes, guys. All right. Let's go into our first story of the day with the Meta Quest. And it has been announced. It was already announced, but we've got a price reveal and I think a few specs. Now, this is one of the things that was sent to me literally right before we started. So I was rushing to just throw stuff together. I don't have a lot of information on this thing besides this heck of a price that's been announced. And I have the website pulled up here in front of me. And Nick, hopefully you can help me out here. Hopefully you got some info you can fill in the blanks. But we'll get into what specs we do know of here in a sec. But I wanted to jump into the thing that everybody's going to be, I guess, pointing the finger at is the price. Mm-hmm. So the Quest, it's the Meta Quest or the Oculus Quest, whatever you want to call it, the Quest and the Quest 2. They both came out around another 2 models of each, and they were both about $400 to $500. I think the highest model was $500. Now they've gone up in price now, I believe. Were they $299?
Well, no, it was actually it was $399. It was $299 and $399.
Okay,
when I bought it was $299. Yeah.
Okay, so the one I have the Oculus or Meta Quest 2. And it's the 256 or whatever. Yeah, it's 256 gigabyte, and I think it cost me, like usually, it cost me $400.
Yeah.
Now they've gone up $100 now, I think. So I think that, I guess they still are. They're each one's $100 more. So now you can get one for $500. So the max amount of money you're spending on one of these Quests is $500. So the Quest Pro, the Meta Quest Pro, is out now, and it's supposed to be a beefy little boy. But god damn, it's $1,500?
You thought your HTC Vive was expensive?
The fuck? Yeah, I know, right? I've been sitting here talking about how, I want a fucking what is it, the Valve Index. I've got the Index controllers, but I don't have the headset. Not because I couldn't afford it or anything, but because it's $499 for the headset. Now that doesn't include controllers and base stations and all that, but Jesus, that thing is a monster, and it's not $1,500. I do think that if you get the whole kit that comes with base stations, the controllers, the headset, the whole shebang for the Valve Index, it's like $1,300 or $1,200, something. It's on up there. But damn, the Quest Pro is $1,500 fucking dollars. Now I will give it this. Everything, my understanding is that everything is built into it. So you don't have to have anything else. It is wireless, and that's what's been holding me back from getting a new headset. Is I said next PC VR headset I get, I want to be wireless and have a wider FOV. Those are the two big things I'm looking for: wireless, FOV. And it seems like this is definitely wireless. Do you have any? Have you seen any numbers or anything that say what the FOV could be on it? By chance?
Well, they have like you were telling me they had the. You know what? Let me. No. MetaQuest Pro.
Because I was looking up.
MetaQuest Pro is.
I was trying to find specs on it. And I couldn't find
It
specifics.
says a high per eye resolution of 2160 by 2160.
Okay, I mean, that's good. But that's 4K. It's gonna have 4K per eye.
106 degree horizontal, 96 degree diagonal.
100 and what?
106 degree horizontal, 96 degree diagonal. So it's got a pretty decent FOV.
That's not really any. My numbers could be off here, but I don't think that's because FOV, when they usually talk about it, they talk about the diagonal. They talk because that's the widest one, and they say like the. I know that like the Vive.
Well, the Quest 2 has an 89 degree. Let me look this up.
I think it's around 100.
It's we have a horizontal view of about 180 degrees when starting straight up to 270 degrees when we rotate our eyes. So the wider FOV, the more you know why it might be smaller, because this thing is not meant for consumer consumption. I was going to go off on a tangent about this price, but it says horizontal FOV 89 degrees plus or minus 4. I don't know. The valve index at 108 degrees horizontal FOV.
Well, the valve index, you can actually increase it has a little bit it has the widest of the main headsets. It has the widest of all of them.
It's not Pimax or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Pimax has like 200, but it gets all kind of weird and distorted on the edges. But
yeah.
So what? This isn't a consumer grade?
No, apparently I've heard, and like I said, I was going to go off on this until I started reading more about it. Apparently, there's going to be a MetaQuest 3 come out that's going to be a consumer product. It's going to be a better program, a better headset, of course. But apparently, this one is meant for kind of like the
like
HoloLens.
VR arcades and stuff like that.
Yeah, with the HoloLens or something like that, where it's going to be an AR VR headset, and you're going to be able the early intention of VR is supposed to be no longer going to the office, but being in the office in VR and having your controllers and being able to draw with a pad and stuff like that. And
that's what HoloLens was,
I think that's what this is meant for. Do I want it? Yeah, I want it, but I'm not gonna. I might as well just buy the 4080 or 4090 GPU graphics card instead of buying this, because they're both the same price, and it's just like. We're unfortunately at this point, Jacob, we're going to be seeing these prices whether we like it or not. The MetaQuest 3 is probably going to be $800 when it comes out. It's just nonsense. It's the price of inflation is the problem. It would never be $1,500 with this. But this is like Apple pricing.
If they came out with the MetaQuest Pro or 3 or whatever, their new headset, consumer wise, if they came out with a new consumer headset that was wireless, had good battery life, it had the 4K the good display, all the things we expect, like it had a good displays, it was quality in all those ways, comfortable, etc., etc. It was wireless and it worked with PC. It was PC VR and had solid controllers and all that, and a wider FOV. That's what I want, a fucking wider FOV. You got 4K resolution screens. Get a fucking wider FOV on this motherfucker. Give me a wider one. I mean, yes, a lot of these 100 to 110 degree FOVs that we're getting, you hit that sweet spot and you kind of tune out that peripheral. I get, but still, I want that one that's just beyond where I can see.
You want similar to stepping into a holodeck or something like that, where it's just like you put it on and it's just. It's like your own field of view. The only thing I've noticed, I haven't tried the HT or the Valve Index, is playing on the MetaQuest. You forget that it's like rounded, FOV circles or whatever, and that they only spread so far. But this headset's also supposed to if I read this right, it's supposed to render only what you're looking at. It's kind of like, a video game of some
Well, that's
sorts,
like
but
eye tracking. Yeah, it's supposed
yeah,
to. That's a thing with a lot of the new headsets where they track where your eyes are looking and it's rendering. That gives it more where it doesn't use up as much computing power because it's only rendering like hardcore rendering what you're looking at, and all the other stuff like in your
yeah,
peripheral is a little bit like fuzzier. Now, the only issue you run into there is if you got to make sure it's fast enough to when you quickly look this way that everything renders like immediately.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean,
This is like Apple pricing. This is like what Apple's VR headset is going to cost. It's probably going to cost like $3,000 because if this is what MetaQuest Pro 2's or MetaQuest Pro's charging, the Apple VR headset is going to be expensive.
Well, and that was the thing that I liked about the Quest. I mean, I like the Quest. It's a very cool headset, and it's probably I use it more than my other ones now because it's just really easy and it does connect to the PC. But
yeah,
it was a cheap alternative. That's why the Quest did so well. Not because yes, it's convenient. That's definitely part of it. Its biggest claim to fame, the thing that got it out there in so many households, is because it was $300, $300 as opposed to the Valve Index that just headset alone is $500. Or all these other ones cost so much more money. That's why it had mass appeal because it was cheap, but it was still quality.
Yeah, that's
product.
why I bought it. So
exactly, because it was affordable and people could get into it. I get that this is a prosumer thing. If they come out with the MetaQuest 2 Pro thing, whatever, the one meant for us, and it's wireless, wider FOV, and cool controllers, and you had thrown out $800, that's a bit much. But I would be tempted, not $1,500, but if they came out with that motherfucker at $500, fuck yeah, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like the MetaQuest 2, I hate saying MetaQuest. The Quest 2,
yeah, that name sucks.
Yeah, it does. Has the ability to connect to the PC wirelessly too, and even like as long as you have a good like internet connection, but connecting it with a wire. It looks pretty good. Like I playing Half-Life Alyx or something like that, or Red Planet 2,
Red Matter.
Red Matter 2. Thank you, Red Matter 2.
Yep.
Like it actually looks pretty good for a headset that was originally only $300.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, but like you said, I don't know if like the Valve. The problem is the Valve Index is like 5 years old now, so they need to update it.
It's not 5 years old. It's only like 3 years old now. The Index. Now, I mean, they are saying that an Index 2 is probably coming. And as advanced as the Index was, I couldn't imagine, and where headsets are now, I couldn't imagine an Index 2 coming out and it not being like above and beyond all of these. How much it's going to cost, I don't know. But Valve doesn't seem like they're in the business of ripping off their consumers, so I assume they're going to make it cost. I think that Valve wants to keep it around the same price point of the last one. Maybe. I have no basis for that. I'm just talking out my ass. Maybe I just want Papa Gabe to be better than everybody else. I don't know, but I don't know. But you are right with the price of things and inflation, and that they see that they can get away with it. And I mean, we see PlayStation doing it with the price of their console. We see MetaQuest doing it with their headsets, and everything's just going on. And they really want to get these new products out because instead of raising the price, what they'll do is they'll just come out with a new product, phase out the other one, and raise it or have it come out at a higher price, which is fucked up. We're going to start talking about economy in a minute, and don't get me started on that. But these headsets don't need to cost this much because if they ever want VR to take off in the mass appeal, they have to be affordable. And at $1,500 or even $800, that's not. Everybody's not going to have that. You've got to make it to where lots of people can get them.
Yeah, at this point, way we're headed. Like, even the Meta Quest 2 is gonna be a hard sell. It's the unfortunate nature of just the way life's going. But it's just $1,500 is a lot of money. $1,500 is what some people pay on their rent each month. It's just they're not gonna pay for a Meta Quest 2 or a Meta. God damn it, they're not gonna pay for a Quest Pro. I'm just saying that. Fuck it, they're not paying for the Pro.
Yeah, and I'm looking here on the site, and once again, I didn't get to read through this whole thing. I'm just kind of clipping things out, and it looks as if the battery life on it is bad. It says it sounds like the battery life is very bad, is their words.
Oh my god.
So, if I'm paying $1,500 for a fucking VR headset, nothing about it better be very bad. Like, everything about it better be fucking awesome. Like, yeah, I don't know. But, like you said, I mean, I'm taking your word on it. This is more of not consumer grade. This is more like for VR cafes and stuff like that where they're doing that stuff. So if that be the case, those things always cost more money. I don't know why, because you look at them and their feature sets typically not any more than regular things, like especially with VR headsets. But hey, whatever, maybe they're pricing it just to what the market is. So okay, but I'm interested to see what is their next thing with the consumer grade. What's their next consumer grade thing? And if so, why are they making such a big deal about this fucking thing? If it's obviously you're leading people to think this is the next headset, $1,500 for the consumer. Jesus Christ! But I ain't getting it. That's for damn sure. Consumer or not, fuck that shit. But let us know in the comments below if you plan on getting the Meta Quest Pro ever, or if you have a VR headset, which VR headset you have, and what is that? There's like a bug flying around me. But anyway, if you have a Meta Quest or any headset, and if you like it, and if you think that any of them are worth $1,500, let us know in the comments below. Alrighty. From there, let's move on to our next story. Kenneth Branagh again.
Yeah, that's Branagh.
He is getting spooky. Apparently, as we know, that he has made in the past few years, he made the Murder on the Orient Express and Death. Is it Death on the Nile?
Yeah, Death on the Nile.
I have not seen Death on the Nile.
It's terrible.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah,
I know that Armie Hammer was in it, and that was what I heard about most. Is Armie Hammer's in it when all that happened. But yeah, he's made those, and they all involve the character of Poirot, I think.
Yeah, Hercules Poirot.
Yeah, Hercule Poirot, which is a famous. I know that character because he used to be on Masterpiece Theater, and my mom used to watch those things all the time on like PBS and stuff. So I'm familiar with the character to a degree. Well, production is set to begin next month on A Haunting in Venice, a new thriller based on Agatha Christie's novel Halloween Party. As with the 2017 Murder on the Orient Express and 2022's Death on the Nile, Academy Award winner Kenneth Branagh will direct the film and star as famous fictional detective Hercule Poirot. The script has been penned by Academy Award nominee Michael Green. The film will be shot at Pinewood Studios outside London on location in Venice. In addition to Branagh, the cast includes Tina Fey, Jamie Dornan, Michelle Yeoh, Kyle Allen, Camille Cotton, Jude Hill, Ali Khan, Emma Laird, Kelly Riley, I don't know who any of these people are, and Ricardo Sacamarico. I'm sorry, I know I butchered that. I know who the first few are, but all those other ones I don't know. Branagh has said this is a fantastic development of the character Hercule Poirot, as well as the Agatha Christie franchise, based on a complex, little-known tale of mystery set at Halloween in a particularly ravishing city. It is an amazing opportunity for us as filmmakers, and we are relishing the chance to deliver something truly spine-chilling for our loyal movie audiences. I wonder if he talks like that in real life, because like that was like a quote of his. Like he speaks like nothing against him. I love the way he talks. He speaks like a script, like someone wrote it for him.
He's a thespian.
Yeah, he is a thespian, definitely. Also, we have an official synopsis. Set in eerie post-World War II Venice on All Hallows Eve, A Haunting in Venice is a terrifying mystery featuring the return of the celebrated sleuth Hercule Poirot. Now retired and living in self-imposed exile in the world's most glamorous city, Poirot reluctantly attends a seance at a decaying haunted palazzo. When one of the guests is murdered, the detective is thrust into a sinister world of shadows and secrets. The film is set for a release sometime in 2023. So yeah, seeing as how I have honestly, I've seen Murder on the Orient Express, but I don't remember much about it. I just remember seeing it. And I have not seen Death on the Nile. I am familiar with the character, and I know at least Orient Express was really popular. You think? What do you think, Nick? You excited about this? I mean, it sounds like it's going. It's kind of like a spooky one. It's maybe going in a slightly different direction. But what do you think?
Yeah, this is this series needs to go away. Kenneth Branagh, great director, directed Belfast last year, was an amazing film. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
What happened? What happened? What happened?
I don't know if I can hear you now, but I couldn't hear you a moment ago.
Oh, okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Man, this is a great day for podcasting or streaming or whatever. No. I liked Murder on the Orient Express. The one with what's his face back in the day was really good. Death on the Nile was terrible. It was absolutely horrendous. I don't need another Hercule Poirot movie. Kenneth Branagh did a really good job with Belfast last year, but it's just like you're going to bring it out in 2023. There's too much shit coming out in 2023. You're going to put it up with characters that you've never heard of before and people you never heard of before. And can we talk about the fact that another person dies? Like at some point, Hercule Poirot is going to be the murderer because he ends up always around that one person. One person dies. And there's all these people. It's like the same bullshit over and over. It's like either Agatha Christie had nothing better to do than just write the same story over and over and over in different settings, or Kenneth Branagh is just bored. He needs something to do between. He's like Christopher Nolan in between Batmans. He needs to do a Hercule Poirot movie.
People stop hanging out with this guy.
Yeah,
somebody always fucking dies
bad
around
luck.
him.
Yeah. Does anybody care if I spoil what happens in Death of the Nile?
I give no shits. I know Gal Gadot's in it, and she's hot.
Yeah. So anybody in the chat, spoiler for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, starting now. So Gal Gadot dies, right? And it ends up being Armie Hammer and his lover, who's the one that stalks Gal Gadot through the entire movie. And it was stupid. It was so fucking stupid because it just once again, Johnny Depp dying in Murder in the Orient Express was cool because Johnny Depp dies and you find out it's like everybody on the train and stuff like that. And this is going to be another story where someone dies and it's going to be someone you expect and it's just going to be boring. And hopefully Tina Fey kills the person. I don't know, but yeah, she dies in Death on the Nile. She thinks that somebody's going to kill her and somebody does kill her. So
is she the Death on the Nile?
Yeah.
Oh.
She drank too much. She didn't have enough champagne for the Nile.
Oh, I didn't know Gal Gadot died. Oh, I like Gal Gadot.
It happens Gal Gadot, like a half hour.
Whatever her name is. On
Gal Gadot. Yeah, the hot woman dies. We'll just say that. So
Wonder Woman. Oh, well.
But anyways, no, I'm not excited for this at all.
I draw comparisons to this franchise to Knives Out. Because they both, they're coming out around the same time, and they're murder mysteries and all that. So, I'm sure that
Knives Out was so better.
I'm sure Knives Out though takes some Agatha Christie, some inspiration from Agatha Christie for sure. So, but Knives Out seems like the better franchise at this point.
Yeah, apparently Glass Onion is supposed to be. Oh, by the way, if anybody's wondering, Glass Onion is appearing in like AMC, Cinemark, and Regal, and tickets are on sale. And I hear it's an amazing movie, so I'm excited.
Cool. I'm going to go see that in theaters. And even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one, I'm going to watch the first one again. And then I'm going to go...
the first one's great.
Oh, and we talked about this. I know. I never thought it was bad.
I don't know. I don't remember yesterday, so...
Well, I didn't think it was bad. I don't know. I guess because I went into it with like all this hype, everybody, because I saw it late.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about how great it was, and I watched it, and I was like, it was good, but...
I mean, that happens with most Marvel movies. I hear all the hype from the critics who don't allow me to go to press screenings, and I'm like, okay, oh man, that shit sucks. So yeah, I understand your hype when it comes to hype because I hyped the shit out of that movie when it came out, and yeah, I understand.
When a Marvel movie's good now, I'm like surprised. So ooh. Anyway, me myself, I think Kenneth Branagh's a great actor and director.
Oh yeah.
I don't really have a lot of investment in this franchise. It doesn't sound like the second one's very good. The first one I remember being fine. I mean, it sounds like they're trying to do, or I don't know if the story's doing something different, but it sounds like they're going for a more like kind of a spooky kind of setting a little bit with the Halloween thing and all that. That could be cool. I mean, it could be great. I don't know. We won't know. I mean,
well,
I'm sure
the killer is truly Michael Myers. Or the guy who directed Halloween. We'll go with that.
David Gordon Green?
Yeah, that's the killer.
Yeah, he needs to be the victim. But I don't know. We'll find out in a few days if he needs to be the victim or not. Probably. But yeah, I'm cool with it. Okay, great. I am neither excited or not excited for this. I'm just kind of like whatever. I'm very indifferent to this news. It's coming. It's kind of like when Death on the Nile was coming. It was like, yeah, that's a movie.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
It might be great. I don't know. This might be awesome, but I'm not excited. I'm not gonna be excited about it. I'll probably see it at some point, and if it's awesome, great. I'll say, man, it was awesome. I wish I'd been excited about that. But as of right now, I can't help be excited about this. So what? Who cares? I mean, Kenneth Branagh, you're awesome, but these movies have been very erratic at this point. But let us know in the comments below if you are a huge fan of not this character, but the Kenneth Branagh tellings of the film so far. If you're super excited about this, or if you're not, let us know what you think about what the hell is this called? Something about Venice. A Haunting in Venice. Coming soon. Coming in 2023, apparently. Alrighty. Moving on along like we do. I feel like I had more to read about this story than we had to say about it.
See, I give you short stories today, so there you go.
Yeah, they're very, very short. Okay, so this is an interesting one. This is actually one we've been hearing about for a while. These rumors have been circulating, and they're starting to, I'm not going to say come to fruition, but they are starting to be talked about even more because the movie's about to come out. Black Adam and The Rock. I will always call him The Rock. I know it's Dwayne Johnson, but The Rock really wants to fight Superman. Like, really wants to fight Superman. And we've known that. He's been talking about that for a while, but he got shot down apparently by Warner Brothers and yada, yada, yada. He's been attached to this character since 2014, by the way. So he's on board with this thing. Now, before I jump into this story, I will say that the trailer for this movie, and I love The Rock, does not look great. I'm not going to say it looks terrible. No. It looks very, that happened, vanilla. Just like, just another one. There's nothing about it that gets me excited. We'll find out. I think you're seeing it this week, aren't you?
Yeah, they're doing a screening on Thursday, and we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask if there's an embargo for it, but yeah, I'm seeing it Thursday, so we'll know if. I mean, I'll know if Superman's in the movie or not. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not seeing it that early. I got to wait a little bit longer. I'm hoping to get some early tickets, at least a few days or something. But it's coming soon. Well, apparently Dwayne Johnson has been saying, and this is nothing new, he's been saying for a while that the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Talking about Black Adam coming out and everything. When asked about whether or not he'd like to make a film with the two of them, being Superman and himself, going head-to-head, Johnson said, "Absolutely. That is the whole point of this, man. I've been saying for some time there's a new era in the DC universe that's about to begin. And what I meant by that was introducing a brand new character. This is not a sequel, not an existing IP. It was, Black Adam. 2 years ago, the world had no idea who he was. We did, but not, the rest of the mass out there. Introducing the JSA, introducing a new era to the universe. What I really meant by the whole hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change thing, this is the new era of DC universe. This is the new era of DC universe. Listening to the fans and doing our best to give the fans what they want. And maybe sometime down the road, and I went through this in pro wrestling, is you can't always give them what you want. He talks really weird. His sentence structure is all over the fucking place. But you'll always know that we're listening. And in this case, with what you and I are talking about, I've been listening. And I've been wanting to address fans for years because I've been wanting for someone to step up and address the fans and say, hey, we hear you. So finally, after many months turned into many years, we ended up with what we ended up at. And the whole goal and intention now is to this new era this time. Now let's build out. All right, honestly, that sounds like a whole bunch of fucking hyperbole, like just words he threw together. But I think
and this is the Rock talking.
Yes, this is quoting him.
Had he not had his like super duper breakfast this morning? Like,
I don't
what the
know.
hell? I had no idea what he was saying.
I think what I decipher from this is he's saying, okay, DC, we're doing a new thing. This is new. We're doing a new thing, and also a new thing is we're listening to the fans. We want to listen to you guys and listen to what you have to say. We're not always necessarily going to give you exactly what you're saying you want, but we're going to try and give you what you need. But we are always listening to you. I think this is a big thing. He said listening a lot, but I think that's what he was saying. That was all over the place. Now, also, to go along with this and talking about Black Adam and Superman, which we'll talk about all this in just a second, but he said, well, not he said, but Cavill said back in November that there is more he wants to do with the role of Superman, and there's a rumor going around that Cavill actually has already filmed a scene for Black Adam. By the way, Black Adam will hit theaters October 21st, 2022, which is only 10 days from now. Okay.
Oh, by the way, so the review embargo is the October the 18th, but I can give my initial thoughts because that is up tomorrow. So people are allowed to give their social embargo or social thoughts, meaning like they can say kind of what they thought of it, but they can't give an actual review until the 18th. So I don't get it. I don't get why they do that. But,
like those out of theater.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys know if it's any good on Friday. I'm saying no already. I'm just going to drink to that, but we'll see what happens. So, anyways, yeah, The Rock saying just weird shit. What else is new?
The Rock saying, "We're listening to you. We hear you. We hear you." Much like I see you. But they hear you. He wants the fan. It does. In all honesty, I think that's why he's bouncing all over the place. He sounds like a fan. He has been attached to this thing since 2014. Oh yeah. That's almost a whole decade he's been working
excited
on this thing. He's excited to get it out there, whether the movie's good or not. He's put a lot into it. I think he just wants people to know that, hey, we're listening to you, and we do care about what you think. And I mean, that's admirable. Whether that goes well or not, I don't know. But it's admirable that he's at least saying that, putting that out there. So. But I guess the big... well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you this question before you continue. Knowing this possibility that Henry Cavill could come back and them kind of reconfiguring the ship from the DCEU, how do you feel about that? Like, you being like a huge Henry Cavill fan, knowing that he could possibly come back in Black Adam for a scene and then kind of restructure it to where he gets a bigger role and they actually do something where they give him like a Man of Steel Part 2. Like, how do you feel about that as somebody who loves the DC universe more than I do? Because me, I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean, I love that. I think Henry Cavill is a great Superman. I don't think he's had the best film opportunities, but I think the character. I think they found the perfect person to play Superman. I really like his take on Superman. I don't hate his films. I actually like Man of Steel more now than I used to. When I first saw it, I didn't care for it. I watched it one or two times later, and I liked it a little bit more every time. And then, of course, the subsequent Zack Snyder films up to Justice League, or Zack Snyder's Justice League. I like the character. I would be cool with it. I am more... And if they had a new Superman come along, I think my biggest issue with it is that Cavill has said, I still want to be Superman. Justice League or Zack Snyder verse or whatever you want to call it, be damned. I still want to do Superman. I'm cool with it. Yeah. Just give me a call. I want to do it. So I'm like, if you got this guy who, I feel like a lot of people do like his take on Superman. Maybe not the movies, but they like the character. I don't think anybody would be offended if Henry Cavill came back in another Superman movie. I think a lot of people would be cool with that. I don't understand why when you've got this guy sitting here who knows the character and is on board and is very well known saying, I want to do it, why not just do it? Just do another one. It doesn't have to be Zack Snyder's vision. Just have him do another Superman movie. That and the direction that they were talking about going with Superman, I was vehemently against. Not because of any race stuff or anything like that. The reasoning behind it. I've spoken about that multiple times on here and other places. It's their reasoning for going the direction they're going that I didn't agree with. I don't think that that's the reason you do any story. And some of the people that are involved are questionable, in my opinion, as well. But as far as, like, if he shows up in Black Adam, I mean, yeah, I'll be excited. I'll be like, hell yeah, that was awesome. I mean, I'm not going to, like, lose my ever-living shit. I do like Henry Cavill, but I'm not going to be, like, you know, losing my ever... Like, I'm not a stan. I'm not going to see Henry Cavill is getting another Superman. I'm not even going to see it as meaning anything. And he might show up in this movie and that don't mean shit.
Those early screens, if Henry Cavill pops up in those early screens, like the ones where the true fans go, they're going to lose their ever-loving shit. It's going to be like fucking... You know, Jim, what's his face from The Office? You know, being in John Krasinski being, you know, Doctor whatever.
Andrew Garfield showed up in Spider-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and Tobey Maguire. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, to answer your question in a roundabout way, yeah, I'd be excited. I'd be happy. I like him in that role, but on the flip side of that, with the way Warner Brothers is right now, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, they could come in with this Flash movie, because we don't know what the Flash movie holds. They've done more reshoots with that. He could come in with this Flash movie, or they could come in with this Flash movie and just reset everything. That was the whole idea behind that movie originally anyway, was to reset the whole universe and have all their new people coming in. But then they slashed all those, like their replacement Superman, Supergirl, and Batwoman and all that. That stuff's been dumped, so I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. But I'm okay with it, because you want to know the thing that's not happening? We're not hearing about it every single fucking week either anymore. They finally shut the fucking doors and said, we'll be with you in a little while.
Yeah,
so I'm cool with it. But yeah, if he shows up, I think that'd be cool. Especially on a bunch of levels. We haven't seen him on the screen as Superman in a while. I did enjoy his interpretation of it. And also, I do know that The Rock was fighting so hard to get a Superman Black Adam face-off. I don't think they fight in the movie. Even if he shows up, it will be a post-credits or there at the end of the movie, kind of like he did in Shazam, except it'll actually be him. I don't think they'll do, because, you know, in Shazam it showed up, you couldn't see his head because it wasn't really him.
Yeah, right.
That's the best we'll get. He'll show up and maybe it'll be like, who am I fighting next? And then he'll look and he'll see like him like floating off in the distance or something. I don't know. Or he'll walk up and be like, hey, you, or something like that, and then it'll cut to black or something. That's all we'll get. We're not going to get him showing up. If he showed up in a predominant role in this movie, I would be fucking shocked at that point. I highly doubt it. Maybe that's why the trailer looks so bad, because they can't show much of the movie because it's all spoilers.
That would be a good thing.
Maybe this ends up being the most epic fucking superhero movie we have ever seen in our lives. I don't know. Well, you'll find out this week. I'll find out in about a week. So anyway, yeah, Henry Cavill, the Rock is spouting nonsense, but I think it's well meant nonsense. He's like tripping over words and stuff. The Rock wants you to know we're listening to you, fans, and he's really excited about this movie. And rumors are, I don't know, they're reaching a fever pitch that Henry Cavill is, in fact, in Black Adam. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. But hurry up and let us know, because this movie's going to be out soon and we'll all know for sure. So jump on the speculation train and let's speculate so we can all see how we were wrong in a week. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about Black Adam and Henry Cavill and The Rock's ramblings. All right. Here we are at the halfway point of the show. Actually, more than the halfway point. Looks like we still got Fright and Antonio up in the chat there for the most part. Glad you guys are hanging in there with us. You guys let us know up there. What is there anything on the show that you'd like to see? Is there anything you like, any type of thing, maybe not specific, but just like what kind of thing would you like to see as far as the evolution of this show, us do or talk about or whatever? I don't know. Just throw it in the comments. And
Antonio wrote he wants to see realistic Pac-Man again.
No, he doesn't. I veto that. You know how The Rock just said, we are listening and we will give you what you want, but sometimes we can't give you what you want. We'll give you what you need. You don't need that. You may say you want it, but you don't need it. I will not give it. Anyway, I do have a thing I'm working on loosely. I'm putting together about the Munsters. I didn't actually do a Munsters review. I've watched the movie, but I have some thoughts on the movie. But then, as I was formulating a review, I thought, I think I'd rather do like a retrospective, like a look. I want to look at the movie from a different perspective. I think I want to do a different kind of video than I've done before, and look at some things about that movie, because it's an interesting movie that you did not like, Nick.
No, yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, but I understand why people see. This is going to go off on like a tangent real quick. I get why. I understand why people like the movie. I get it. It's a movie that tries. I think Rod Zombie tries to be somewhat coherent in the movie. I just think he does a terrible job at it. That's where I run off on the movie. It's going to be a cult classic. I'm not even joking. My comments are literally split down the middle of all, like, either people really love this movie or people really hate it. And I'm perfectly all right with that. There should be no discourse. I said in my review, I said, if you love the movie, that's great. It's what it is, but I think it's not a great movie. I think it's pretty terrible, actually. Now, I'm starting to wonder, if it'll go on my worst of the year list, because there are some movies with Ruby Rose in it that will be my worst of the year list. But
well, I haven't. I'm with you. I don't think it's a good movie. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
No, it's not. But I understand why people like it. It's one of those movies that I don't feel people like it because of Rob Zombie. I feel like people like it because it's a campy, the Room style movie where it is going to find an audience and be beloved. I mean, I'm still waiting for TYTD and Trivial Theater to review it, because I think that's their type of movie. So I get why people like it.
Well, and there were things about it I liked. There were, like, the second half of the movie is so much better than the first half, I thought. Like, well, the last third of the movie, not the second half so much, but after they get married, especially when they come to America, is so much better. When I say better, I mean it's so much more like the show. So if you like the show, I think you'll like that part. The beginning's okay. The middle part of that movie is fucking all over the place. Like, they start singing like Sonny and Cher and stuff.
Yeah.
What the? I was like, what in the ever living fuck is going on here? It's just all over the place.
Now Daniel Roebuck as the Count is actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good. That's another thing that pissed me off. I know he's called Grandpa. I'm not an idiot, but he's called the Count in the movie. So get off my nuts about that.
Were people giving you a hard time about that?
Yeah, they're saying no. He's called Grandpa. I know that. I know what he's called, but he's called the Count in the movie.
Well, he's not Grandpa at that point because Eddie hasn't been born.
Yeah, but he's actually pretty good. I actually really like him as Grandpa, the Count, or whatever you want to call him. So that is a plus for the movie.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a video I'm considering doing, and there's some things that I think he could have added and or done that would have made a load of difference to that film. And I'm considering whether I want to go through what I would have to do to do
like
those
black
things.
and white.
That's the first and most obvious one, but I don't think just being in black and white would have fixed the movie. I think it would have lightened the blow for some people, but there's some other things that I think are missing from that film that could have been added to it, that in certain parts you could add and make it seem right. And I'm curious as to how those would work out if it was done that way, if it would make for a more enjoyable watching experience or viewing experience. And I don't know. It's a video I'm considering. I have some thoughts, and I was gonna do a review, but then I was just like, I don't want to, because I want to look at this other stuff. I want to view. It's an interesting movie. There's a lot going on there in my head, and it probably more than should be, more than most people. As it stands, though, I'll say no. It's not a good movie. There's something about it. I enjoyed part of it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I was just kind of like, this is it's interesting.
It's an experience.
Yeah. That it is. All right. Let's head on to our second portion of the show. What are we saying up here in the chat here? I vetoed.
Yeah,
ahead.
Antonio's like, we need to bring Pac-Man back. I'm like, I agree.
Oh, the cartoon, not the realistic.
No. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump on into our last three stories of the day. Okay, so this is one you're gonna like, Nick. Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Rather. Well, it would appear that Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is part of the most twisted fucking trilogy ever made.
Hell yeah, it better
If you
be.
didn't know, if you weren't aware, in his own words, he says, and I thought about doing a voice here because he does it. For me, I can't do it. I can't. I'll come off sounding Italian or something. Anyway, for me, the movie is a companion piece. It is the third movie in a trilogy with Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth. That's,
Really?
to me, where the movie belongs. And those are the three movies about childhood and war. You know, and I think the whole movie is in that sense of a piece with those. So, Del Toro says he believes that this is part of a trilogy with Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth. I know you've seen Pan's Labyrinth. Have you seen Devil's Backbone?
I saw a long time ago, so I don't remember very well. But I remember really liking it. It's
It's
like it's a good it's a fantasy film if I remember right.
It's a ghost. I guess you could lump it into fantasy, but it is at its heart a ghost story about a little boy in an orphanage during the Spanish Civil War. I think the 40s.
Yeah.
Same era as I guess.
I may be getting mixed up with Kronos. One of the two. No,
Kronos is the one with the vampire zombie thing with Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
And the old man, which is an awesome movie unto itself. But no, this takes Devil's Backbone is a little boy who's at an orphanage out in the middle of the desert in Mexico, and he, I think it's in the 40s. It's the same era as Pan's Labyrinth, and during the Spanish Civil War, I think it's the Civil War, and it might be earlier than the 40s, but either way, there's a ghost there. And it's about him trying to figure out why this little boy ghost is there and what's going on. It's a horror thriller, but there's some fantasy elements added into it. Not as much as Pan's Labyrinth, but there are some fantasy-esque things going on there. I don't know. I haven't seen this Pinocchio yet. In all honesty, when looking up this story, this picture of Pinocchio here in the background is the first time I've seen it. Holy fuck!
You didn't watch the trailer?
No,
the trailer's amazing.
I purposely did not watch the trailer because I wanted to. I knew it was coming soon.
Yeah,
I wanted to go in cold.
You know what's funny about this Pinocchio and what I've always wanted is we get the homogenized Pinocchio with like the Disney Pinocchio. It's more of a, as fucked up as that movie can get, it really is on the lighter side of, because it's Disney. The book, if I remember right, is not light. It is fucked up. Like I think Jiminy Cricket gets killed in that book. In the book,
he does
in some shit.
I don't remember the book, but I read that somewhere. He gets killed.
Yeah, and like this, I like the Grimm's fairy tales and stuff like that, and you know what Snow White and Cinderella and all these stories are actually what they entail in like the darker versions. Like Cinderella, I think the girls chop off their feet or some shit. It's fucked up, but that's what I want out of Guillermo del Toro. I want a dark, uncomfortable, you know, Tim Burton-esque, like Henry Selick-esque type film where, you know, you go into like Coraline territory where the shit's just uncomfortable. I don't need this another Tom Hanks fucking bullshit they come out with. And you know, I want this kind of shit. This is what it's too bad it doesn't come out till December, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah.
No, you're good.
I can't wait for this.
It's stop motion as well, so it's going to have that really creepy stop motion feel going for it. But I'm really looking forward to this. Especially knowing that it's maybe not narratively, but like a spiritual kind of successor or trilogy with Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth, both of which I loved. That tells me a lot about that. That tells me all I need to know about this fucking movie right there.
Yeah.
Because both those movies were fantastic, and I love the feel of both of those. And they were both very, like, jarringly, like, deal with children and war, and like we'll have jarring acts of violence like that pop off, like and dark shit in them. So yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, we've gotten, and I'm not saying all stories should be that way, but we've gotten the sanitized kiddie version of Pinocchio, and I'm not even talking about the one we got earlier this year that was terrible. But that one's always existed with the 19 whatever Pinocchio animated. You know, Pinocchio's been a child's thing for a long time. Let's get that dark one. He also said that another matter central to Del Toro's fairy tale trilogy is the value of teaching children not to obey their superiors without question. And that is something that goes into the other two movies as well. So that I do see that, and Pinocchio is all about that as well. They tell you go to school, and he doesn't go. I don't know if that fucking thing showed up at school though. I'd be terrified as another little kid. Like, what the fuck is that? It was like Pumpkinhead or something. But Pinocchio begins streaming on Netflix on December 9th, 2022. I'm even more excited about this now after reading that, honestly. I mean, I was excited.
Yeah.
But I was purposely keeping my distance from it because I kind of wanted to go in cold and just see it like for what, because I knew it was coming to streaming, so I didn't need to like do a lot. And there wasn't a lot of news type stuff coming out for it. This is the first thing really besides the trailer. So I was like, well, I mean, I can stay away from this thing and not really miss out on anything. So this is the first time I've seen this picture. Fucking hell. But I'm looking forward to it. I would strongly suggest, if you haven't seen, I know Pan's Labyrinth was a lot more popular. If you have not seen Devil's Backbone, not just you, Nick, but anybody, check that one out. It's one of his first films. It's not his first, but it is one of his older films. It is Spanish language, but it's so good. It's one of the, not the first, but one of the first films I remember, like horror films, that shows a lot of its horror moments and its like scares in bright ass daylight. Like the ghosts and stuff like that shows up in the like Mexican sun, like really bright, and it's not like all shrouded in darkness and stuff like that. And you're not usually, when you're in those real light settings like that in those types of movies, you feel safe. But then in this movie, you never feel safe because the shit can pop up at any time, and it's pretty good. I like that about it. But let us know in the comments below if you're looking forward to Pinocchio, Del Toro's Pinocchio, that is coming in December, and if hearing that it is a part of a pseudo trilogy of Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth, if that excites you, and if you've seen Devil's Backbone, what you thought of it. Alrighty, let's move right along. This is another one that came up. This is breaking news. Last minute, so I don't really have as much information. I'll be looking at a website for some of this stuff, and I have not read the story myself, but the basics are that Blade, the MCU Blade that we talked about a couple of weeks ago now, I believe, a week or so ago, lost its director. He left literally less than a month before they were supposed to start filming. And we were like, well, what's going to happen? Do you think this is going to still start filming in November? What's going on? Are other people going to leave? Well, apparently Blade has been put on pause amid the search for a new director. So, I mean, that's there's not a lot more information, obviously, about it. I mean, everybody else is, as of right now, still attached, but they don't have a director, and they didn't have one. I think, Nick, you even said that you figured they had somebody on standby. I guess whoever they either had somebody they didn't like, or they don't have anybody now. So they paused the movie. It's whether it's going to make its original release date, which I don't know what that was or not. I don't know. But what do you think this means for Blade? Do you think that this is the first of many? Well, not really the first, because there's a bunch of other rumors we've heard about this movie behind the scenes, which I think also plays into this pause. What do you think's next? You think they're going to find a director, move on as business as usual, or you think we're just going to start seeing more people hemorrhage from this thing until we finally see Mahershala Ali, who plays Blade, or is going to play Blade, just say, fuck this, I'm out?
I mean, he is pretty annoyed by it, so, I mean, it is possible. I mean, the release date for it is September 6, 2024, so they have plenty of time to find someone. And they probably put it on hold just so that they were probably, I think they were getting ready to film here like the end of this year. So
November.
They may push.
It was supposed to start November? Less than a month. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I don't understand Marvel and their logical thinking, but maybe, and it's all, like I said, it's always hearsay. It's, whatever. But if this movie was in as bad shape as they were saying, and it pissed off even Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Maybe this is for the best, because you and I both know Blade is an awesome character, like one of the best in the MCU. He's up there with, like Deadpool and stuff like that. It's just characters that are kind of awesome for, Punisher and stuff like that. And I want to see Mahershala Ali in this role because I think it'd be fun. But if the script sucks and the director was not on board with the creative, ideas, it doesn't seem logical to make it. It's like saying, oh yeah, Man of Steel 2, it's a shitty script, but we're going to film it anyways. No, you don't want to do that. You want to have a logical, decent script of a movie. I don't care if it's Marvel, DC, A24, whoever it is. Like, nobody wants to go into a movie and go, "We're gonna make the shittiest film possible," and that's what this movie was heading towards. It's gonna be like the Eternals or something like that, where people are just gonna be like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And when you blame somebody like Blade back in the, like, for instance, Hellraiser or Prey, can you imagine if those had shitty script? You haven't watched Hellraiser yet, you said, right?
I have. In fact, I've seen it now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what you think of it, but you can tell me. But
I liked it. I had some issues with it here or there, but overall, yeah, it was a lot better than I thought it could have been initially.
Right. But can you imagine if they had like shitty scripts and they just made the movie? It just, you don't want to. You don't want to shit. I want to see a good Blade movie. I don't want to see a fucking.
They do it all the time. Marvel does it all the time.
No, I know, but I don't want to like. I don't want this to be like Resident Evil, where fucking, what's his face comes on and it's like, this is like the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I do want a good Blade movie.
I do want that. I want that to be Blade. I want that. Lance Reddick. You should do a Funny or Die sketch. That's what I'm hoping happens.
That'd be
funny. I don't think that this bodes well for it, that they pause it like this, especially being Marvel, because Marvel's movies are so interconnected, and all of them like linked to each other and all this. And we saw it with Black Widow, how that movie ended up, and they started hacking away at it because it was supposed to fit into other movies and all this and that. Now, it had the whole thing of being a prequel that helped it along a bit, and I guess this is, just fucking leave. Why do they have to put him in the MCU? I have no problem with them making a Blade movie. I have no problem with the MCU regime making a Blade movie. But Blade does not fit in the fucking MCU, in my opinion. I mean, that's my opinion. But I just make a Blade movie, but just have it be a separate thing. He doesn't have to fit into this 30-movie arc of all these other characters. He doesn't need to show up to fight fucking Kang in Kang Dynasty and all that. Just make a fucking a standalone Blade movie. Why is that so fucking hard? I don't understand. Why? Just it's mind numbing because Blade is.
You want
cool
them to
character.
do like they do a Joker, don't you?
Yeah, or I mean, even if it's, I don't know. I just don't think it needs to connect to all the other Marvel movies. I don't need Blade to show up in the fucking Avengers. That's not Blade. That's just, well, not the Blade I know, not the Blade I want. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And yes, I know he's shown up with other team-ups and things like that in the comic books, and that's great. And maybe it'd be cool, it could be, but I don't want this character that I really enjoy and really like to show up in the MCU that we have right now, because the MCU we have right now sucks. And I don't want them to ruin another character that I like. And he's a big one. So just, I don't know. And all the issues that we're hearing about that are going on behind the scenes of how like you said, the script is shit. It's got like 2 action scenes, and that's it. I mean, yeah, action doesn't make a good movie, but it's a fucking action movie. And everybody's frustrated by it, especially Mahershala Ali. At some point, I feel like he's just going to be, I'm out. Because he's just going to be like, I'm done. I don't know.
Wait, hold on a second. Here's some breaking news. Avengers Secret Wars, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four have all been delayed amid a substantial scheduling shakeup. Imagine this. Disney confirmed a raft of new details following reports that work has been paused on Blade. Here's the full list. Chevalier Blade, originally now September 6th, 2024, previously November 9th, 3rd. Fantastic Four, previously November 8th, 2024, moved to February 14th. What the fuck? Avengers Secret War, originally. See, this is why you don't announce shit so fucking early. Avengers Secret Wars, originally November 7th, 2025, now May 1st, 2026. And then they've like removed from schedule Untitled Marvel movie number 2. So,
damn, Untitled Marvel movie number 2?
Untitled Marvel movie number 1, previously announced for February 14th, now moving to November 7th, 2025. Untitled Deadpool movie, previously September 6th, 2024, moving to November 8th, 2024. And Haunting in Venice, we already said September 15th of next year.
Why are they even announcing these fucking things? Why don't they just say, hey,
that's my point.
They're paused.
That's like video games.
They're not coming out on this date anymore. Okay, that's fine. That's because you announced them way too fucking early. And one thing, Blade, apparently there's something in Blade that affects all those other ones Now one goddamn thing fucks up and you have no contingency plan, so all these other ones are screwed up. Why give these types of fucking dates again? Just say they've been delayed. We'll get back with you. Jesus Christ. What?
Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, this is why, like, look at Cyberpunk. Look at Bethesda. Don't announce your fucking game so early. It's the same shit. Don't announce your movie so early.
Well, that's why
I don't
Bethesda
care about
stopped, for the most part,
yeah.
they stopped announcing so early, except for that one game. But they would like announce like Fallout 4. They announced it, and then it came out like 3 months later.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's like, unless Fantastic Four is coming out in the next 6 months, don't tell me it's coming out in 2025 or 2024, because that's like, I might be dead before then. I don't care. I want to know what's happening 6 months from now. Well, maybe I won't be alive 6 months from now, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
That's kind of a worst case scenario. Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't think this bodes well for this project whatsoever, and clearly it's affecting other projects. Or maybe that's just how fucked up everything over there is. They're just they can't get their shit together on anything. Maybe they're all just experiencing all kinds of fucked issues. But as far as Blade goes, though, I mean, I don't think that this is the last trip up we're going to hear about this movie. I feel like we're going to be right back here with this background again, talking about. I think at some point we're going to have this background with his head cut out with a question mark because he's left. He does not strike me as the type of actor who's just going to like hang around for these things. And he's been around. I mean, fuck, they announced Blade like years ago at this point when he walked out on stage and put the hat on and all that. So at some point, I feel like this guy's going to be like, fuck this.
The most disappointing thing about that background is it's not Lance Reddick, so I'm disappointed in you.
I mean, if they come out, I'll do you a solid. If and when they come out and say Mahershala Ali has left Blade, when we do that story, I'm gonna put our boy Lance back there. Say, this is who you need to hire. You've got Blade already. What the fuck?
Is he gonna be Toy Story Blade?
Toy Story Blade. Oh,
Toy Story Blade.
Oh, Toy Story Blade. Resident Evil Blade, but apparently, I mean, this story started out as just Blade having a delay, and because it can't get its shit together. But now apparently, a lot of other MCU things are just shaken up, and they can't get their shit together. But that's just the MCU as a whole right now. What's new? I'm not surprised by it at all. They can't get their fucking shit together. They haven't been able to since the end of Endgame. Whatever, but. Let us know in the comments below what you think about all these movies, mostly Blade, being delayed. And do you think that we're going to hear even more about more shakeups? I mean, with that news, I do wonder, are we going to hear about even more movies being delayed? But the big one I wonder is, will Mahershala Ali, will he be Blade? Do you think he'll leave? Do you think that's the next bit of news we're going to get in the next few weeks? I don't know. We'll see. Let us know in the comments below. Alrighty, on to our last show. Damn, I do that every week. Our last story of the show. Well, this is a kind of a puff piece, so this would be nice to go out on. Jamie Lee Curtis wants to get freaky again, Nick. If it was Jamie Lee Curtis from True Lies, I'd be okay with getting freaky with her. She's fucking hot in that. But anyway, while doing the rounds for Halloween Ends, which is coming out soon, Jamie Lee Curtis was talking to some people, and somehow, some way, Freaky Friday. You remember that movie with, what's her name? Lindsay Lohan? Came up.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it came up. It was surprisingly good. I will say that. I saw that movie, and I was like, okay, that wasn't too bad. I saw it when it first came out. I was like, better than I expected. Well, the subject of Freaky Friday came up, and possibly a sequel of Freaky Friday, because that's all people want nowadays is sequels. And Jamie Lee Curtis had this to say. I've already written to Disney. I'm 64 years old in a month. Soon. My point is, creatively, I'm wide open. So Lindsay Lohan and me back in Freaky Friday. She was just in a Christmas movie. She got married. It's all good. Bring it. Let me be the grandma. Let me be the old grandma who switches places. Then Lindsay can be the hot grandma who's still happy with Mark Harmon in all the ways you'd be happy with Mark Harmon. And simply, I would like to see Lindsay be the hot grandma, and I would like to see me try to deal with toddlers today. I want to be a helicopter parent, whatever that is, in today's world as an old lady. So if you ask Jamie Lee Curtis, she wants a Freaky Friday sequel. Now, this is in no way, shape, form, or fashion confirmation that we're getting Freaky Friday 2, Freakier Friday, Free Carter, or anything like that. But it is at least showing that at least one of these people is interested in it, one of the main players. And I'm sure Lindsay Lohan, with the way her career is, if Jamie Lee Curtis showed up and said...
Oh, she's in Hallmark mode right now.
Yeah, if she showed up, and if Disney and Jamie Lee Curtis showed up to her and said, hey, you want to be in our movie? She'd be like, yes, please. And I don't have to get naked. So what do you think of this? I mean, is this something you'd want to see based on her description of it?
You know, sure, why not? It's not offensive. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The thing that I kind of want, and this is going off topic a little bit, the fact that she's never starred in a movie with her husband, or never starred in a movie that her husband directed, which of course is Christopher Guest, it actually kind of boggles me a little bit. So bring Christopher Guest and do like a documentary style or mockumentary style Freaky Friday, where like they do like What We Do in the Shadows style, where it's just like it's just out of control and crazy and zany and stuff like that. I think that, in all honesty, I think that could be kind of cool, because like, you know, do a mockumentary style of like what would happen in like behind the scenes of a, you know, two people having like switching bodies or some shit. But no, I don't.
Wasn't she in Best in Show? Was she in Best in Show?
No. Trust me, yeah, that's the one thing I always wanted her to be in, is a mockumentary of Christopher Guest's movie.
Yeah, I guess you're right. She has never been in one. That is surprising. Well, at least we know she's not getting roles just because of her husband.
That's true. She started naked in one movie, and now she has to be in all Christopher. No, just yeah, no. In all honesty, like, it's not. This is like one of those things where if they did it, you know, they probably on like Disney Plus or some shit, or I think it's Disney who did the first one. Or at least
they own it now. They own it now because she had to. She said she wrote Disney.
Yeah. This is like Sister Act 3 or some shit. It's like, I'm not saying they should do it, but I'm not going to be super offended if it gets put on there, because it's just like, okay, like, you know, as long as you're not doing another Marvel property, and I don't know, as long as David Gordon Green's not directing it, I'll be fine. That, you know,
hallelujah.
As long as she's not trying to kill Lindsay Lohan or something, because Lindsay Lohan like killed her husband or some shit. I don't know. Like, I'm not offended by this, but it's not what I would call something I would be looking forward to. So,
I mean, if it's done like by the same people that did the first, I liked the first movie, surprisingly enough. It was a lot better than I ever thought it would be. I will say that the dynamic that she's pushing, there was more to what she had to say, but that was the gist of it that I put up there. I think that I would be interested. It is an interesting take. I'll give her that. It's like the same. I see it as being a sequel. It would be a sequel. They get switched again.
Yeah.
And like a goofy sequel, you know. But I could see it like being interesting and different enough. It's not just the same thing over again, because there is a different dynamic in changing with a teenager and a whatever she was, maybe 40-something at that time, and a grandma and a grown-ass woman. Because Lindsay Lohan would be grown and I guess married with kids at this point. So that would be a different dynamic, and it would kind of age with the audience, because the people that saw that movie when it first came out were, you know, they were probably, most of the people that it was directed at were younger, so now they're that age. So it would give them an opportunity to kind of have like a similar situation, but with new humor that would still follow the fans of the original. And I think you could still appeal to younger audiences with, you know, the mom switching instead of one of the kids. That'd be different, because it usually is something that happens to one of the kids, one of the young children in the movies. And this time it would be the actual parent and the grandparent. That could be cool. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
If done right. I mean,
like,
it's Disney now, so I don't have a lot of faith in it, but whatever. It could be cool.
Jamie Lee Curtis is 64. I thought she was like closer to 70 for some reason.
Oh, she's not far off. It's 64 this month, or in a month, she said. So, yeah, I'd be willing to watch that. I doubt we're getting this anytime soon, but or if ever. But if we do, I mean, it'd be interesting enough. I'm intrigued. Can't say I'm excited, but I'm intrigued to see what they do.
Yeah,
but we'll see. You guys, let us know. Are you a Freaky Friday fan? Are you looking forward to A possible sequel with Hot Grandma and Hot Mama, Lindsay Lohan. I only want it if everybody comes back. Don't bring somebody else back. Bring Lindsay Lohan back. Man, that's an underdog story I want to happen. I want her to like come back and get right. She's like Gollum. It's like
Gollum.
I see good in her, but she's got like a lot of bad baggage.
So this is the end of the movie, her falling into like a volcano or some shit.
It's the end of her life. I don't know. I just a heroin needle instead of the ring, or whatever that was that she did. I think she was a drinker, but whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, Freaky Friday. Looking forward to, or Freaky Friday 2, possibly. You guys looking forward to it? Let us know in the comments below if you'd be interested in seeing that. And that is the show, ladies and gents. I told you there wasn't a lot to talk about this week. We did have a few things that popped off there, as we were talking, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed what we had to talk about. I know it was kind of a slow news week, except for this Marvel stuff that's like developing now. I'm kind of sick of talking about Marvel, honestly. I could give a rat's ass about them now. But they're going to fuck up Blade. But, let's see. What else do I have? Anything? I will be streaming. I plan on doing it tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? It could be Thursday. Either tomorrow or the next day I will be streaming with...
No, he's gone. Oh.
I'm building out... I'm done building... I've actually had to disassemble it to do something else, but this is it's green, so it's chroma keying it out. But this is a Sega Saturn. I've replaced everything except for the main motherboard, and I've soldered a whole bunch of shit on it and all kinds of things. But this is in the same vein as the Dreamcast I made. This is an ultimate Sega Saturn I've made. It already works. I've already done it. I was actually adding another mod that I created just for it. So that should be done by tomorrow. So I do plan on showing this off and the Dreamcast, which is over there, and it works too, in the next day or two. But beyond that, not really anything else. I mean, we'll be back on Friday instead of Saturday. The new days are Tuesday and Friday. Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time, whatever time that is where you live. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else really going on. Oh, I guess there is one thing going on. I mean, there's not many people in here. I guess I'm having another baby. I'm not. My wife is. I'm having another child.
Is this Junior? Are you the new Junior?
Yes. It's not a tumor. But yeah, my wife is with child, so I'm having another kid. So I don't think I'm ever going to stop having them. I'm making a football team or something like that. I don't know. But the news on that, though, I guess that's different. The one different thing is it's a boy. I've never made a boy. So I am 7 kids in, and I finally made a boy. Woo! So that'll be new. I don't know shit about raising boys, but I'm gonna learn, I guess. Made a whole bunch of girls, no boys. Now I got one. Now it's the quest of a boy's name, Pubert. I'm going with Pubert.
Realistic Pac-Man. Oh, you call him you call him CUA.
CUA.
Or CO Koa. You call him Koa. Cups of
Uranus.
Ua.
Not naming my kid Cups of Uranus, but I'll name him Pubert.
There you go. Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's February, I think, is when he'll be here. People are like, "Oh, you're having another kid. Are you freaked out?" And I'm like, "Dude, do you know how many I have? This is just like another day."
You know how many he doesn't know he has? Come on, people.
I know I got all of them. I got a lot of kids, Having another one at this point is just, I mean, I'm happy. I love it and all, but it's just like, it's just another kid. I've done this a bunch of times at this point. But
as far as an army of movie reviewers.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be a boy. I'm interested to see what raising a boy's like. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got. Nick, what you got going on over at the Pleasure Emporium for everybody?
As of right now, I got things. We just posted a new episode of The Fifth Dimension with TYTD. We have I don't want to say, but on the 24th, the day before, Barbarian and Curiosity of Cabinets comes out, we do have a special guest that it went places. We'll just say that. So it's a couple weeks from now. So look forward
Is
to
that
that.
when that's coming out? Is the 24th?
Yeah, it's coming out until the 24th. So we'll look forward to that.
Cool.
But other than that, I'm seeing, like I said, I'm seeing Halloween Ends unfortunately tomorrow. I'm seeing Black Adam on Thursday, I think, and be back here on Friday to talk about that, what I thought of it. But other than that, just I'm preparing to move, so there's going to be some announcements with that, with my channel and helping Jacob out and stuff like that. So look forward to that. I'll explain later when we get closer to that date. But right now, everything's normal, everything's usual. So yeah, movie important, pleasure important.
The pleasure.
Things of Emporium.
Right on. You guys check his channel out. He's got some really awesome content going on over there. And check out the Fifth Dimension. We have some really cool shows that we pre-recorded that are going up over the course of the next few weeks. And just went up yesterday. I've still got to watch yesterday's episode. I usually watch them on Monday, but yesterday, like I said, I was out looking for a car. Oh, I had a wreck. I didn't. My wife. A lot of stuff going on with her. She had a wreck Sunday. Nothing bad. She hit a deer. I mean, it's bad for the car. She's fine. She hit a deer going like 55 miles an hour or something. Deer didn't work out good for the deer, but it didn't work out good for the fucking car either. So I'm having to find another car because that it still runs, but it's it's in a bad way right now. Surprisingly enough, a full size fucking deer.
At least your wife's okay. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and that is what matters. Her and the baby are fine. So I mean, and
yeah,
the most she got was like she's a little sore on her chest from the seatbelt, but airbags and all that came out. But Jesus Christ, cars cost a lot of money to fix nowadays. And when they hit me with that quote, I was like, holy fuck, I should just buy a new car.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to do that after we're done with the show here, is go look at a car. But anyway, that's just got all the personal news out there. Let me think if there's anything else personal I need to let everybody know. Tonight for dinner, I'm having... Anyway, no. That joke landed real flat. Get me out of here. I appreciate you guys all hanging out. Antonio Fright, the other newcomer who's left from Spain, welcome. Anybody else who was in here that wasn't commenting, thanks for hanging out. You guys can check out the shorter versions of all of these dad jokes. Yeah, Antonio, no, just bad jokes. But you can check out the shorter version or the more digestible versions of all these clips that will be out over the course of the next couple of days. And I, too, will be seeing Halloween Ends this week. So I will definitely have a review of that up. And we may or may talk about it Friday if I'm able to see it before the show. If not, we'll talk about it maybe the following week, if there's anything to talk about. I have a sneaking suspicion there will be. But I will have a video up on my channel, a standalone video up on my channel, as well as Black Adam, but not this week because I don't think I'm seeing it until next week. I feel like there's something else, but I don't remember what it was. So more stuff coming. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Au revoir.